Hello, my friends, my family, my community. Thank you for being here with me as I talk about spirituality and what it is. So, if you're following my channel, if you know me, you probably already are either deep into spirituality or you're pretty curious about it. And because I've been through the entire spectrum of questioning life and being spiritual since a young age, but I've been deep in the 3D and deep into a very specific part of my life and transitioning from that into a higher state of consciousness or a higher level of spiritual practice. I love talking about the transition from maybe non-spiritual or questioning spirituality or what is this to moving into a more spiritual practice and eventually a higher state of consciousness. So what is spirituality? So I'm going to go into the basics and then I'm going to go not too deep with this video. If you're looking for something deeper, I'm not going to go very deep at all. I'm just going to really touch on what spirituality is, how we can benefit from it, and where can we go with it? Where can we go with this practice and what is it and all those good things. So spirituality, now we are of spirit. We are spirits, we are souls, we are of higher level consciousness. We are light energy. Just like we would say, I'm a human being. Well, I'm a soul being. It's the same thing. And when we go through these moments of questioning, who am I? What is life? Is there afterlife? What is the bigger picture? Wondering about the dynamics between your relationships, with your relationships, wondering how I could better my relationships, wondering how I can understand more about myself, be more connected, have a healthier life, understand some of the things within myself that I can't otherwise make sense of. Those are all the little things that will start showing up to perhaps invite you to go inward. And the spiritual practice is all about the inward practice. It is all about increasing self-awareness. It is all about understanding the mind. It is all about letting go of the mind eventually, but connecting with self and going into a place of, again, a higher level of expansion, meaning that we will move from a place of being very concentrated on the mind, living within old paradigms, old beliefs, lack, being able to, through the practice of spirituality, being able to break free from the old patterns, the old systems, and the old things that we've inherited from our parents or from our culture, from our society. We start dismantling the old when we go through spiritual practice and we make space for the new. So what is spirituality? What is it? When you hear the word, what does it mean? Well, it means to connect with spirit. It means to really go into a practice that is allowing you to understand more about yourself, to understand more about what is life, to feel more into your intuition, to feel into greater relationships, to feel into how to be more sensitive with other people and to be sensitive with your surroundings, with work, with relationships, with yourself, with your health even. It's all intertwined. And the work that I do is very intertwined with personal and spiritual development. Personal being our personal life, our personal growth, our understanding, psychological as well, really interpersonal relationships. But spirit is at the center of it all. Our spirit is the core of ourself. And if we are in alignment with our soul, with our true authentic self, with our higher self, then we will be able to understand how our relationships are playing out, how to maneuver through relationships in healthy ways, how to again address limiting beliefs or lack beliefs or old beliefs and patterns and habits that we have ingrained in ourselves for our entire life perhaps. So we get to go through this process of dismantling the old ways into something far more expansive, far more beautiful. At the base of it all is love energy. It's returning to heart. Oftentimes we go through life and we lock our heart in. We become so disconnected with it. We become more in the mind, takes over. Our heart sends signals to our brain. Our heart is the receiver of so many pieces of information from our experiences with others, with our outside world. And being in our heart frequency, our heart energy, we are able to create so much We are able to enjoy so much. We are able to open up to so much. And eventually, when we move through the practice of spirituality, we move into that higher state of consciousness, into the 5D, 4D, 5, and then 5D, progressing into getting out of the mind, out of the 3D, which is, again, lower density, being very stuck in life is about this or it's about that, or looking at problems in a very singular way, getting stuck on time, getting stuck on possessions and worth and status and things that really don't serve a purpose in our greater picture, greater landscape in life. There's nothing wrong with that. If you know my video here, then you'll know that I talk about we can still have all the things that we want in life, but we get more out of it when we go into our spiritual practice. And we also get to identify how strong the mind is and how we have lived in our mind for so long. And a lot of us, unless you were born a guru and a complete, there's that 1 in a million, I'm sure, out there, but a lot of us have gone through or are going through the process of dismantling the mind and moving more into our intuition, moving more into our heart, becoming more expansive, paying attention to a lot of the things within us and around us. And that is going to allow for smoother relationships, is going to allow for greater life experiences, is going to allow for greater manifestation. And what is manifestation? Is the ability to co-create with the universe, the law of attraction. So it enables us to master that, to call things in faster, so that we can also have a balanced life, so that we can also enjoy all areas of our life. If we're in our mind and if we're concentrated on maybe only a couple of things in our life, then that's all we'll see, that's all we'll experience. And then we might tune out and numb out a lot more that's available for us. So spiritual practice is hugely, hugely valuable for personal growth, for spiritual growth. It offers us bigger understanding of who we are, about what's important for us, what we value the most. It allows us to go into our core. It allows us to connect with our beliefs, with who we are, maybe what we're meant to do, our true gifts, our true talents, what means the most, rather than creating a life for ourselves based on what maybe our parents might accept or society might accept, or wanting to prove ourselves in a certain way. It really is aligning with our true authentic self. And again, when we're in alignment, we have less conflicts, we attract less friction in our life, things move smoother, we have more flow. There are many, many more benefits. I'm probably not even touching on, scratching the surface on how many there are, but it is a valuable practice through things like meditation and yoga. Very, very simple practices. This has been around for a long time. Myself, I've been doing yoga and meditation probably for 13 years now. This is the way to start. If you're new to spirituality, to the practice, wondering, how do I even just start? Where do I go? What do I do? What does this mean? Start with some yoga. Meditate every day. Meditation is hugely, hugely important because it starts to dismantle the thoughts. And when we are in perpetual thoughts and stress, we become that story. We live that story. We're on repeat, essentially. And we put too much energy and emphasis on the mind then. So it really is becoming separate from the mind, letting go of that, and becoming comfortable living in expansiveness, living in space energy. It feels like space. It's very expansive. Letting go of the mind and trusting. And moving through that process does require time, because you will go through transformation. Sometimes might be uncomfortable, sometimes might be smooth. It depends on your journey, but there is going to be a level of trust that is going to have to develop from where you've been in the mind, where it's so safe, it's in control, to letting go of that and moving into a place where there is no control. There is no feeling of safetyness as what we're used to. But when you get used to that, you get more out of life, and then you begin to feel into the vastness, the expansiveness, and that's where true creation lies. That's where our relationships get better. That's where we're in alignment with ourselves. That's where we're also in alignment with our body and our health. That's where we get to let go of a lot of stress. Then we can identify the patterns of the past, what we've been holding on to, what we've gone through in the past that's played out up until that point. We've all gone through them in some kind of way. It's breaking patterns, it's breaking habits, it's identifying, it's stepping more into our power, claiming sovereignty, meaning that we're not prisoners of our old mindset. We're not prisoners of the past. We're not prisoners of limitations. We're not prisoners of heavy weight that's been weighing us down or preventing us from something, maybe preventing us from opening our heart or having really connected relationships or tuning in or listening or creating great success or creating abundance, whatever it is, or living in peace and comfort and stillness and being comfortable with that. You know, a lot of the times we live in a society that's very fast paced. It's very go, go, go. And then we move into the stillness. We can still accomplish a lot, but without that energy running around in our mind and in our body, we have more energy to create even more and better quality, better results, high quality, high results, less mistakes. I do hope that sheds some light on what spirituality is, some of the practices, how to get started. It is a very, very light conversation. I just wanted to touch on a few key points. But of course, if you're wanting further information or detailed information to something specific, please leave a comment below. I'd be happy to create more content around that because, of course, there's a lot to talk about with regards to spirituality. So I do hope, again, that was helpful. I love hearing from everyone, and I will be seeing you soon. Until next time, take care.